Hi, my name is Evan Terry, and today I'll be talking about Bitcoin, how it works, and where it came from. So Bitcoin is a currency like any other. It has a value attached to it, but it's also very different in many different ways. So the first major difference I'd like to highlight is the creation of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is created by someone, they're named miners in a Bitcoin community. They basically provide their processing power. This can come in the form of GPU, for example, and they provide that processing power to something called a blockchain. And a blockchain is just basically an exchange of information, and it's like a way of verifying transactions of Bitcoin as well. And every time a transaction or verification is completed, whoever was providing the processing power, the miner, is awarded Bitcoin, and that is how it's created. Now, another thing that makes Bitcoin special is that there is no banks, there's no federal government, there's really no authoritative figure to moderate how the currency is used or what it's used for. And this is achieved by something called decentralization, which is where there is no, like I said, no banks, no government, no central figure for things to go in and out of. So if you want to transfer money to someone in a centralized system, you have to transfer the money to the bank, and the bank will transfer the money to that person. Now, in a decentralized system, you transfer that money straight to the other person, and in this case, that money would be just Bitcoin. This is achieved through something called peer-to-peer transactions, and if you want to put that in a simplified kind of manner, it's just kind of person to person, right? You're just basically directly connecting to someone else to make a transaction instead of having like a middleman, basically. Another thing about Bitcoin is that it's stored in the individual's profile, basically. Like their Bitcoin address is where it's stored. So once again, no banks. It's stored by the individual. Another thing about Bitcoin that makes it pretty special, I think, is that there's no real restrictions. Anyone can mine, purchase, and or store Bitcoin. So that makes it a little special, especially the mining part, because you can basically create the currency on your own, which isn't something you can really do with most other currencies because it's kind of illegal. This style of decentralization in peer-to-peer transactions does make it easy to make transactions anonymous, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how it's used. Nowadays, Bitcoin is worth about $48,500 per coin, and it is an accepted form of currency among actual businesses and companies rather than black market websites and other online only businesses. Many experts estimate that Bitcoin will see massive growth throughout the next couple years. If not the next couple years, the next couple decades, they are almost certain that Bitcoin will double, triple, maybe even more in value. And that's all I have for today. I just wanted to explain the basics of Bitcoin without going too deep into the concept of blockchain and how that works. So I just wanted to keep it real simple and try to make it understandable. So I hope you learned something today, and I thank you for your time.